Chapter 16. Calm down, Isabella. It probably wasn't a good thing that Andy was incredibly turned on right at that second. Entirely inappropriate considering the rower, Ali, was in front of him and much younger. He obviously had no idea whether he was gay or not, but judging by his well-spoken accent and tuxedo, he probably wasn't. This made the ad hoc hug even hotter. Also, the 2 bottles of champagne and beers he'd drunk earlier also made it more hot. He also remembered that he had changed into a pair of yellow thongs. Obviously, Ali wouldn't have known that, but that actually made it even hotter. The idea that he was wearing such skimpy underwear whilst being hugged kept gnawing away at his mind until long after Ali, the new guy, had walked inside the venue again. He stopped focusing on this, as it wasn't the ideal thing to think about given the current circumstance. He checked himself briefly. Andy, you're here for Freddy. And to socialise, not to lust over some hot straight rower. Stop. He smiled as he said this to himself, knowing how many times thinking using his penis had led him into situations he otherwise would have wanted to avoid entirely. He could be naughty, that was for sure, but this evening he had to be a gentleman, as Freddy was truly a catch. He couldn't mess it up. Ali, we're over here, he called as he walked back into the gallery. My friends are over here. Oh, sorry. I was going to get some more wine, if they let me, he responded. Andy decided it probably wouldn't be best if he drank more. However, this guy seemed like he could drink like a fish. Besides, maybe he was fun. I'll get you one. Red? Ali smiled. It was cheeky and somewhat flirtatious, but not overly so. Yeah, red, thanks. He knew the catering company who were serving drinks tonight, so he managed to get a whole bottle of red wine for the group to share. It was rare to be able to do this, but he had offered around 4 catering contracts for previous events. He figured that while they might be covetous of a bottle of wine that probably cost them no more than a few pounds, the very least they could do was offer 1 bottle to him as one of their best customers. Finding Ali outside, this unknown rower, was a bit of a curveball that he had to figure out how to manage. Wine bottle in hand, he led Ali to his friends in the corner. He introduced them to the group. Guys, this is Ali. He had some issues with the catering people. Smashed some glasses. It's all good now. Hey mate, nice to meet you. I'm Freddy. A rather masculine handshake was extended to Ali. He accepted, while also looking at each other firmly in the eyes, their faces somewhat overly masculine and tense. A show of dominance. A typical male thing to do in any situation to assert a pithy amount of power for literally no reason. Isabella chimed in at this moment. Oh my god, so funny hearing all those glasses smash. Are you okay? Mortified to hear the sound, so loud. But you're okay? Looking slightly indignant at her enthusiasm and tombe, Ali responded. Haha, yeah, that was me. Sorry, having some issues with my ankle from training. Fell over by accident, but I'm fine, don't worry. From this point, Isabella took the lead, clearly interested in him. She probably saw him as a fun new plaything, seeing as her Lithuanian friend, Arun, had gone mostly silent and looked incredibly forlorn. This was typical artist behaviour, he thought, and something he got used to at events. Arun probably wanted to be in a dark room, downing litres of vodka and smoking cigarettes, but in this case, couldn't do that. She obviously found this whole affair rather tedious, which explained why the stubby wine glass was literally glued to her face while she took small sips and avoided talking. He smirked slightly as he pondered upon all the dark, nihilistic thoughts that were probably in her mind. She looked bleak. He laughed out loud when this thought came to mind, impulsively. What's funny, Andy? Isabella asked, with a note of concern. She loved being the centre of all of this. He knew it. Ooh, nothing. I was just laughing at the reaction the catering staff had when they saw Ali fall over. Shouldn't laugh. Sorry. Oh right, yes, so funny. Oh my god, such a loud voice. She added, slightly dismissive. It was clear she wanted to focus on Ali, her new prey. She continued, So Ali, why are you here? Nice tuxedo, by the way. Tom Ford really do a fantastic cut. Love it. Ali looked like a deer caught in the headlights of a very fast-approaching pickup truck. Oh yeah, I got invited by my friend Finn. He's friends with the photographer. No way, that's so cool. Love it. What happened to your ankle? Where do you live? At this point, Andy and Freddy were still largely quiet. They were waiting to see where this went, observing closely. The fact that this was more entertaining than the photography said a lot about the artist's intention and messaging. Clearly, the photographs weren't that interesting. Watching Isabella and Ali interact was bloody hilarious. To Andy, at least. Rowing. Well, not whilst rowing, but when I was getting the coaching boat off the water. They had those damn rubber wheel things on the main frame. Nightmare. My ankle's killing. Can't row for a week or two. This piqued Freddy's interest. Before that moment, he was slightly aloof and disinterested. He'd said a few words to Arun, but their conversation had quickly fallen flat due to lack of vodka and the slight language barrier. Freddy chimed in. No way, mate, that's awful. I'm sorry. I row for Fulham End Boat Club. Andy does, too. He told me, yeah, I'm at St. Mary's University Boat Club. Captain. Sorry about the ankle. Hey, at least there's nothing coming up in terms of regattas and stuff. The under-23 races at Eton Dorney are ages away. You'll be fine. Oh, thanks, buddy. That's not the issue. It's what to do with all my damn energy. Literally can't keep still. My boyfriend's out of town, too. Mortified. Isabella was absolutely mortified to hear the word boyfriend fall from his lips. He could see it in slow motion, like an apartment block being destroyed in a controlled explosion. Only, this wasn't a controlled explosion. It was a freefall of human emotion and raw disappointment that she wouldn't get to take home a hot rowing club captain. She looked mildly indignant, instantaneously staring at the floor while clutching her drink and her vintage alligator skin handbag. You okay, Isabella? Andy asked, noticing her change in behaviour and facial expression. Amused, but discreetly so. Oh my god. Yeah. Sorry, I just realised I left something in the bathroom. Give me 2 minutes. She then left and headed to the corner, grabbed a glass of wine, and headed to the bathroom after downing the entire glass. All Ali could wonder is how she'd managed to drink almost 3 bottles of cheap Chardonnay over the past hour or so. The only word that came to his mind was heartburn. Or was it heartache? He'd have to confront her to find out whether she was okay. She could have had issues with her boyfriend again. Turned out he'd slept with another guy, his best friend, behind her back. She was possibly more than a little annoyed at the gay world right now, he imagined. At this point, Freddy made a comeback which stuck in Andy's mind. Dangerous to have so much energy, mate. I'm sure you're finding creative ways to burn it off. Andy's eyes met Freddy's just as he finished the slightly flirtatious sentence. Perhaps Freddy was signalling to him that he had good intentions, or that he wanted a threesome. It was sometimes hard to tell what gay guys wanted, to be honest.